Hi, my name's Gerard Black. I'm a proud Worimi man from the Central Coast of New South Wales. I grew up here in Torres on Wadawurrung country, and I'd like to pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people and the traditional owners of this land, past, present and emerging. I'm here on Djarrak, which is a beautiful part of Wadawurrung country, and Djarrak being the traditional name of Bells Beach, Australia. Djarrak, from the perspective of the Wadawurrung, and the way that Karina, a traditional owner of this country, speaks of this land, and she talks about it being the arm of Bunjil. I'm here today to explain the artwork that I've done for Rip Curl and the artwork that I've created for their reconciliation with our people and our culture. I'm going to start at the base and the bottom of the artwork, and we'll work our way up and through all the way to Bunjil in the sky. At the very beginning, you'll see two people sitting around a fire. This represents the beginning of the story of Rip Curl. Represents here, Djarrak, down at Bells. Represents Doug and Brian sitting around a fire on the beach. Then as you move along the journey, I've represented each meeting place and each part of the journey with a significant moment. Moments that showed the growth of Rip Curl. You'll see the dot work flowing between the sky and the water and then flowing onto the land, and it represents the journey and how everything interconnects with one another. Around each meeting place I've put surfboards, and the surfboards changed. Every single dot is the spirit of our ancestors, the spirit of creation, the spirit of the land and all the wind, how everything comes together as one. The little U shapes that you see, they represent people. They represent our elders, and they represent the men and women of the Aboriginal culture. Beside each man and woman, you'll see different tools. Spears sit beside the men, and the shields sit beside the men. And then beside the women, you'll see their sticks, their digging sticks, their yam sticks, and their kulamans or their knowledge circles, sharing knowledge with the children. And that represents the women. They're my ways of acknowledging our people, acknowledging the people of this land and the people of our culture across the country. A little tip of my hat to one of my favourite and iconic surfers, and a moment that he shares with everyone when he sits around the corner and he just sits in peace. If you look really hard, you can see Mick sitting down in the base of the cliff there. And every time I see him do that, and especially here at Djarrak, it's such a soul nurturing moment, and I can see him connecting the way that our people would have, and that place that he goes into, which is a place of connection and connection to the land. I've represented the low tide of Djarrak. I've showed the rock pools and the layout of the rocks underneath the water at low tide and how this place once would have looked. You can see there the people sitting around the rock pools, gathering shells, gathering food and collecting different nourishment for their people and bringing it back to the beach. Through the waves coming in, you can see more people sitting there, as I explained before, those little U shapes. They represent the spirits of the ocean and the spirits of the people in the ocean and that connection to the ocean. As you see and travel up past the waves, we go up into the sky country. And in that sky country, on either side, which was so important for me to share those ancestors in the sky, the ancestors of the Dreamtime, and acknowledge Bunjil in the centre of the Wadawurrung people and the Kulin Nation. To talk more to what Bunjil is doing in the sky and spreading his wings and showing that creation. Every bit of dot work that you can see radiating out from his wings flows into the water, and it flows across the sky, through the wind and into the land. And this is how everything is interconnected. The land's connected to the water and the water's connected to the sky, and it's a circle and it's a cycle. And we go round and come back full circle every time. We have to be so mindful of how we impact the journey that we take, because someone has to follow those steps for future generations to come. What was important for me when I was creating this artwork is connecting Rip Curl and the tradition of bells in itself. I wanted to depict what I saw bells as in my culture. The size of the tribe has gotten bigger and bigger, and I've represented this within my artwork. I've shown the bigger meeting places as you go along that journey. When I come into bells and I see the mob of kangaroos that have been there for generations and the hills as you come through, all of the artwork that I've done inside the bell is that journey. You can see the road in, you can see the beach itself, and you can see the journey that everyone comes to every year from all around the world just to come to this one place and meet and gather. I then wanted to revisit what I could imagine Rip Curl's logo looking as. I've put meeting places through the background and then used the main predominant colours of our flag to represent our people. The people standing on the land with the sun. Being an Aboriginal man that grew up in Torquay, it was a really touching moment for me to be able to share these stories and share who I am as a person, share my understanding growing up here in Torquay, being a part of those years of coming to Bells was really special, and I'll forever be grateful for this opportunity.